Yes, Rene Gonzalez gonna make another video, shrimping stories. I wanna relate about those pictures that I put on there. The TITO, Ocean Reef Company, Moran's Pass, Con Brown Harbor, and we're looking back in 1975, I believe, or 1976 when I got that boat. Brand new boat. The company has brand new company buying, building new boats, freezer boats. And those were the first freezer boats coming around. Uh, but anyway, it was a lot of the Spanish guys here from Moran's and Rockport that were running these boats. They were good boats. Uh, the Tito did pretty good. I liked working on it. What is the thing about working on a brand new boat? Don't have no problems. Everything will work smooth as long as you rig them out right, where the way it's supposed to be. Uh, so we were at that time, those years, there was pretty good shrimping, and the price of shrimp was good. So we were all making a little money there through those years right there. So on the Tito, I'm not sure how long I had it for, about 6 months or maybe close to a year or something, that I had been running the boat, and they were doing some work. They were doing some work on the boat, on the Rene winch, and that was under the captain's quarters on the bunk. Underneath of it, that's where they had the crack, the sprocket chain, and all that stuff for the winch. They were working on it. They were welding, and I'm not sure what happened, but a spark of it got into that bunk and caught the mattress. Uh, I'm not sure what date it was. What was the date of when that happened? But that morning that Edward Silkenstead had called me. He was one of the owners of Ocean Reef, and they called me that morning saying that the boat had burned up, the Tito. I said, what? Yeah, it burned up. I said, what? A brand new boat, a brand new boat had burned up. So, man, that thing fried up pretty good, man. I mean, those steel cabins on heat, they warp. They'll start warping, get all bent out of shape. But that whole cabin, the top, the bottom, all the sides, I mean, that thing was fried. Everything inside, all my belongings, all the whatever was inside, that was fried up. But anyway, they hired old Morris Hernandez. He's the one that cut it off. The cabin, started building a new one. He was a damn good welder. He was working for Riceco shipyard here in Rockport. But anyway, at that time they started cutting me a check weekly, a weekly check, while they were working on the boat, while they were putting a new cabin on it. So I think it took them about 4 months or 5 months, something like that, to finish that cabin, and I was on the payroll that whole time on the Tito. And then went shrimping again. There's one time that we were shrimping up to the east, and we were working together with old Capt Skinny, compadre Flaca, and I was getting ready to go in. We were working offshore up Louisiana, and I was gonna go into Galveston to do some repairs to the freezer. So Compadre Flaca asked me if I could take some shrimp in for him to bring him some cash. And I said, yeah, I can do it. So I did. And but anyway, when I went to Galveston and unloaded that shrimp and stuff, the company that I was working for, Ocean Reef, they got upset about what I did, so they fired me. They got another guy came and picked up. I think it was Boogerman and Mario Garcia came and picked up that boat. That time when they fired me out of in Galveston, and the boat was gone. About a week later, they called me back. I was home, and I wanted to apologize because they talked to me and got them to understand what was the deal with taking me shrimp over. But anyway, they hired me again. That's the time they gave me the Tiny Smith, and that's a big story about the Tiny Smith because I was rigging up the boat, and that's when Irene was pregnant with Rene, my son Rene, and uh, and I was rigging up the boat, and she was getting ready to be in labor, and man, I wasn't getting because I was getting to the point where I needed to go out. I needed to go, and she was getting ready to be in labor, man. So anyway, I think well, Renee was born that night, and I went out shrimping. The first trip on the Tiny Smith, it was August, no, October 27th, 1978. My son Rene was born. First trip on the Tiny Smith. She was a little upset with me when I came back, but we brought in a good trip, so we had a little money on it. But anyway, these are the kind of stories that I want to share. Uh, how we're coming up, and I want to put some more about all these other boats that I put on there, about the Sunshine and the Captain Rabbit, and all these. I want to make videos of all my experiences with them boats. Every time I have some kind of experience with them. But hopefully it'll come to understanding how everything is the way I'm explaining things here. But anyway, have a good day.